Hello guys, and welcome to my channel, The Mug Life DIY. I am Julia and I'm so excited you stopped by my channel. If this is your first time, welcome. I hope you guys really enjoy some fun boho inspired spring DIYs. So that's what we got and that's what we're going to jump right into.
And jumping right into our first project is using all Dollar Tree items. I found this little wreath at a different Dollar Tree, so I picked up two of them and I really liked it. And I found these new flowers. I had never seen them before and I only found them in these two colors, but someone had just mentioned to me that they have found these in different colors. So I would say be on the lookout, but they are amazing. I love the quality of them. And I just basically stuck them inside of the different parts of the wreath. And a couple of the areas I did have to use some twine to reinforce it and to hold it into place. But for the most part, this was such an easy way to make this wreath of just pushing them in through the different twigs and twine and securing them with some of my twine. And this is part of a Easter decor collab, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys all knew I will have the playlist in my description box. And my daughter says hello, and I'm just so excited to be participating with all of these amazingly talented ladies and just to see what they came up with for Easter. So I felt like the wreath was like missing something, so I went outside and I grabbed some twigs, from my tree. And I kind of just loosely wrapped them around, doing the same process. I stuck them in between the little twine and I just wrapped them around in different places. Now, these are all different size twigs and you could do more or less. I might add a few more twigs. I really like this natural element that it just brought to it with, I believe they're called grapevine wreaths. Is that what these little wreaths are called? I had never seen them at my Dollar Tree, but I really loved them. But I don't know, I just really liked having that little extra element of the twigs, but I think it turned out really pretty. And I also picked up one of these little crosses. Now, I think it had a tea light in it, but it must have fallen out in the bag, but I had never seen it before. And I wanted it to kind of be off-centered, but it was too low as it was. So I just took some random pieces of wood. I actually think these are my kids' building blocks, but they were in my craft room. So I glued them together to kind of lift up the cross. And then I placed it kind of in between. I knew this was going to be in a stationary place on my fireplace, as you can see, so I wasn't too worried about the cross falling over, or if I want to take the cross off I can, but I just thought this was a beautiful Easter piece and only cost, let's see, $5 to make. I mean, how great is that? And when you have it, it's always the project that you envision will be super easy that turns out to be the bane of your existence. This project literally gave me a run for my money and it has all sorts of wonky problems, but I still really wanted to show you because I love the end result. I just wasn't too happy with the process. So I took some Dollar Tree dowels that I had on hand and cut them down to size. I measured kind of roughly, and that's where I went wrong. My little bottle that I just picked up, it's that gray glass. I don't think it's glass. I think it's like a anyways, I picked it up from the Dollar Tree this past week and I wanted to have a little stand for it. Now, I saw at Dollar Tree a while ago, little black stands, and I wanted to kind of imitate that, but let me just say, it's a lot harder than said. It took a lot of patience and a lot of hot glue to glue these dowels together, and they were uneven. So I even marked them, I measured them. I'm not quite sure how to get them a little bit straighter. I have made the same kind of shape with the Jenga building blocks, but I have never tried it with the dowels. So I thought I would give it a shot and I wasn't happy. And to kind of cover off those end caps, I took some of my cork ribbon, also from the Dollar Tree, and just wrapped it around each of it's going to be the top section of my little piece, just because I thought it looked a little bit unfinished. You could do jute rope, you could use another ribbon, just any kind of thing that matches your style. But I, of course, like a little bit more of an eclectic jute and ribbon, not so much. But course, I didn't like it. So I started to paint it and was just trying not to make a whole lot of hot mess. And that's when I realized, what in the world? Why is this project not coming together? Why is it so infuriating? So I just kept pushing through. Now, as you can see in that middle section, I did add some jute because it was still wobbly from the glue. Should have been my clue. Now, here's that little vase I was telling you about. I love it. I thought it was so pretty, and it's geometric and just totally my style. So I took some of the Dollar Tree. It's this like white cotton cord, and I loved it. So of course I have to add some texture to this vase. So I just kind of wrapped it around several times down at the bottom. I would say like an eighth of the way down. I didn't do a lot, but I just really wanted to kind of chunk it up. And I also, here's the mistake, I made my little stand a little bit too big. So this kind of helps solve that problem to make it fit a little bit better, but I just kind of liked it. So I just went with it, and then I glued the end piece and pushed it down. And because it was still a little bit uneven, I had to think of another way to add some stability to my stand. So I took some cardboard, cut it out in a rough kind of semicircle, or not a semicircle, guys. Oh, words are hard. And I just cut it out in a circle and painted it black. I did not paint the bottom section yet because I was going to be gluing it down. So I just didn't think it would glue as well. I don't know if that was just all in my head, but I glued it down and I added a lot of glue. I was hoping that this would level it out some, and it definitely did, but I don't think this piece had it in it to be saved. So I just kept going. I was like, I'm this far, guys. I gotta finish it. I gotta show you guys, mistakes and all, and maybe you can make this piece a whole lot better than me. And I bought some of these flowers. Actually, I think these are from last year, but I believe Dollar Tree still has them. And I just like how they kind of have that overflowing effect. Very just, I don't even know. I just thought it was pretty. So I added some of the greenery and 3 sprigs of the flowers because I like things in odd numbers. I don't know why, just my personal preference, and added that to it. And then I placed it on my fireplace. And if I haven't already said it, I am in love with having a fireplace. My brothers put it up for me as a Christmas gift, and I've had so much fun decorating it. So of course, I have to make a garland for my fireplace. So I found these little, I actually think they were called garlands, but they were too short for my fireplace. So I originally picked up 2, but I did have to go back and get a 3rd one because 2 was too short. And I just really love the colors. They're kind of like pastel, and they have this speckled egg. I just adore them. I thought they were so pretty. And I took some of this Dollar Tree ribbon. This is the cotton one. I just love the cotton. The feel, just everything. It's so much fun. And it's in this like kind of a pastel faded pale pink color, and I just thought it was so pretty. So I wanted to make some chunky long tassels, and if you guys don't know how, this is kind of a slow-ish version of how to make them, or at least how I make them. And it's just really easy. You take the cotton and you wrap it around a piece of cardboard or your hand, whatever you have, and you just tie it together, pull it off, and cut the ends. And I made a total of 3 of these little pink tassels for my garland. And if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that bell icon and you subscribe to my channel if you love all things eclectic, boho, and Dollar Tree DIY. And here's how the speckled Easter egg garland turned out with the little pink tassels. I just adore it. I think it's so fun, and it's definitely whimsical, and I think it added a nice little pop of color to my fireplace. And for our final project, I took 2 of these candlesticks that I just found at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be super gluing them together. Now this is kind of in, I would say it's not the glossy one, it's more of the flat white, but I wasn't too worried because I am going to go over it with some of my Rust-Oleum white chalk paint. Now I have so many of these Aldi candle tops and I love using them and reusing them in projects. So I used one at the very top because I needed a little bit of a wider base. So I just hot glued that to the very top and you kind of see how we build upon that. But I did take my Rust-Oleum chalk paint and I gave everything 2 coats of that paint. And this is also one of the blocks that I found in my craft room. Pretty sure it's my kids' building blocks, but you know what? They were in my wood bin, so I am totally using them. I found this little cross also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm taking some of my greenery, my moss, also Dollar Tree, and I'm placing it all around. The only place I actually glued was around the cross, because if I ever want to reuse this, I can take the moss off. But that's just my personal preference. You could glue everything down, or you could use some spray adhesive or some Mod Podge, whatever is your preference. I just wanted to kind of build up around the cross to make it look like the cross is sitting on the mountain of Calvary. So that's kind of the idea of this little piece or this candlestick. But I just thought it ended up really well. The only thing I wasn't too happy about, which I might cover up with some of my white lace or twine, is the underside, how I connected them. So if you have something that maybe you think would look good, let me know. And definitely, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Check out the playlist and let me know which of these 4 projects is your favorite. I hope everyone has a wonderfully blessed Lent season, and that is all. Till next time.